Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. हरि नाम संकीर्तन की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरे कृष्णा। रीडिंग फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम, कैंटो 6, चैप्टर 12, टेक्स्ट नंबर 17। प्राणो ग्लहो अयम समर, ईशु अक्षवानाशनः। अत्र न ज्ञायते अमुष्या, जयो अमुष्य पराजयः। प्राणो ग्लाहो अयम समर, ईशु अक्षवानाशनः। अत्र न ज्ञायते अमुष्या, जय अमुष्य पराजय। प्राणग्लहो अयम समरः, इषु अक्षवाहनासनः। अत्र न ज्ञायते अमुष्य, जयो अमुष्य पराजय। मौलाय अयम समर, इषु अक्षवाहनासनः। अत्र न ज्ञायते अमुष्य, जय अमुष्य पराजय। प्राणग्राहो अयम समर, इषु अक्षवाहनाशनः। अत्र न ज्ञायते आमुष्य, जय आमुष्य पराजय। माता जी। प्राणग्लाहो अयम समर, इषु अक्षवाहनाशनः। अत्र न ज्ञायते आमुष्य, जय आमुष्य पराजय। प्राणग्लः, life is the stake. I am this samaraha, battle. Ishu akshaha, the arrows are the dice. Vahana asanaha, the carriers such as the horses and elephants are the game board. Atra, here, in this gambling match. Na, not. Nyayate is known. Amushya, of that one. Jaya, victory. Amushya, of that one. Parajaya, defeat. Translation. O my enemy, consider this battle a gambling match in which our lives are the stakes, the arrows are the dice, and the animals acting as carriers are the game board. No one can understand who will be defeated and who will be victorious. It all depends on providence. So next verse, we will read translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Srila Prabhupada. Translation, verse number 18. Sukdev Goswami said, hearing the straightforward, instructive words of Vritrasur, King Indra praised him and again took the thunderbolt in his hand. Without bewilderment or duplicity, he then smiled and spoke to Vritrasur as follows. Purport. King Indra, the greatest of the demigods, was astonished to hear the instructions of Vritrasur, who was supposed to be a demon. He was struck with wonder that a demon could speak so intelligently. Then he remembered great devotees like Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj, who had been born in the families of demons, and thus he came to his senses. Even so-called demons sometimes have exalted devotion for the supreme personality of Godhead. Therefore, Indra smiled reassuringly at Vritrasur. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So, this chapter entitled as Vritrasur's glorious death. So, Vritrasur is born out of mentality to take revenge from Indra. And Twashta made a mistake while chanting the mantra so as to kill Indra. Instead, he chanted something wrong, which meant that to be killed by Indra. So, it is said that the way of fruity activities is very delicate and it is unforgiving. So you make a small mistake and it actually takes a whole different meaning. But the Bhagavad Marg is completely different. In Bhagavad Marg, it is considered as the path of mercy. And small foresight, or if you even make big mistakes, usually the devotees are very merciful. The Guru Maharaj is very merciful. And we get repeated chances to actually correct the path. But anyways, so Vritrasur is born and he is leading the demons against Indra and his army. So he is a very fearsome demon and all the devatas are fearful of him. So as always, the demigods have tendency whenever they are faced with any difficulty, they will take shelter of Lord Vishnu. So they take shelter of Lord Vishnu, and Vishnu also guides them in a very twisted way, one can say. So Vishnu does not directly help him. He actually tells that you go to Dadichi Muni and then you ask for a weapon made out of his bones. And this Dadichi Muni is the same person who actually was warned by Indra not to give knowledge to Ashwini Kumaras. So he had threatened him before. He even cut off his head. Then he was given a different head by the Ashwini Kumaras, and he nevertheless actually guided them. So he goes to Dadichi Muni. So Lord Vishnu has the way of purifying a person. So Vishnu could have easily given the weapon to him directly, but he asked that you go to that person whom you have offended, ask for his bones as the weapon to kill Indra. So he goes to Dadichi Muni and asks for the weapon made up out of his bones. And Dadichi Muni then jokingly starts speaking. He says, life is very dear to everybody. How could you ask for my life? It is meant for a boat on which you can attain the Supreme. And just like it is somebody is a beggar, already he is having some problem, and you are actually asking something extra from him. So already somebody who is in impoverished state, how could you actually force this kind of request on him? So he is speaking like that, but ultimately he gives in Indra is also speaking that you cannot understand our trouble. We are actually very much troubled. So the trouble of Indra is that he has lost the heavenly planets. That is the only trouble he has. But then he is actually asking for the life of another person. But then Dadichi Muni also understands that Lord Vishnu's order is the heart and soul of a devotee. So what is greater honor than to follow the direct order of Lord Vishnu? So he actually finally gives the bones, and the thunderbolt is made out of the bones of Dadichi Muni. So then the fight begins, and Vritrasur actually fights very well in the battle. and he actually once hits the Airavata, and Airavata faints. So as soon as Airavata faints, so Indra comes down and tries to revive Airavat. And seeing the codes of conduct for a Kshatriya, Indra does not actually fight when actually he is reviving Airavat. So the Vritarasura does not fight with Indra when he is reviving the Airavat. So Airavat is revived, and again the fighting begins. So Indra actually sees that Vritarasura is very much enthusiastic to fight. So he is fighting with full power and vigor, and he is not using his thunderbolt, which is given to him by Lord Vishnu. He tries to hit Vritarasura with his other weapons, and that's why the Airavat gets injured. So Vritarasura is saying to him, so why are you not believing in the words of Vishnu? He has given you thunderbolt. Why are you not using it? Why are you trying other weapons on me? So he says that I am very ready to get killed, or I will kill you. And actually, uh, your body is actually the offender. So you have killed your guru. So even the vultures will not eat it. So he is actually trying to make him angry. So he understands that Indra is somewhat bewildered seeing the hearing the speech of Ritrasur. He thinks whether he is a devotee or what. And seeing his hesitancy, so Ritrasur tries to incite anger in him. So he is actually speaking to him in different ways so that he fights. Okay. So Vritarasura also tells him that, see, now you have used your thunderbolt and I have lost my arm. And still, I have injured you. So he injures Indra, that the thunderbolt falls down from his hand. Okay. And then Indra becomes very much morose. He thinks that I am already defeated. So your weapon falls down from your hand, and the party in front of you is actually not killing you. That is, in one way, he is defeated. But Vritarasura says that I am actually very much eager to fight with you, and my arm is broken down by your thunderbolt, and still I am fighting. So why are you so morose? So pick up your thunderbolt and fight with me. Okay. So he's trying to make him angry, and then he tries a philosophical way. He tells him that ultimately defeat and victory is in the hands of Lord Krishna. So you need not worry about these things. You just try your best. You are already blessed by Lord Vishnu himself that I will be killed at your hands. So why are you worrying? So there is no need to worry whether victory or defeat. You should fight with full vigor. So he gives his own example that I am trying to fight with you with my full powers, though I am injured. And ultimately, in this verse, he is saying that this is like the game of dice. If you say that victory and defeat is not certain, even if it is not certain, the ways of Kshatriyas are that you should not give up. Even a gambling match, if you are called for, you should not actually give it up. So there is a code of Kshatriyas, just like Yudhishthira Maharaj is actually called for the gambling match. He does not reject it, basically because he has been invited by somebody who is senior to him or equal to him. So he says that even if you think that the victory or defeat is not certain, still you should not actually reject from participating in the fight. So this is like a gambling match, and the arrows are like, they are the dice, and this whole battlefield with all the vehicles and all the animals are like the board on which the game is being played. So you should play the game and leave everything to the destiny. So Lord Vishnu has already assured you, and still if you are not having conviction, still you fight. So anything may happen by providence. That is not your prerogative. You should not think about it. So saying so, after that, Indra, in the next verse, he actually becomes bewildered, thinking that how come a demon is speaking in this way. So he is speaking more like a devotee. And then he actually realizes that there are many big devotees who were born in demon families also, like Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj. So there is no wonder that Lord can do anything. And then he smiles. So prahasan, the word prahasan comes here. So prahasan word comes at many places in Bhagavatam. Prahasan or a smita. So whenever there is a smile, there is a different meaning to it, which the Acharya has actually explained. So in Bhagavad Gita also, it is said that when Senayor Ubayor Madhe, so Ratha Sthapayita. So it is said that Arjuna tells before the battlefield that Krishna should take the chariot and make it stand in between the two armies. Okay. And at that time, Krishna smiles. So it is said, Prahasan Iva. And Prabhupada writes, he smiles, understanding the mind of Arjuna. So Arjuna is just thinking, let me see my enemies and let me see my friends. So he actually is contemplating whether he should fight or not. So he's finalizing a decision. He's still not made up his mind. That's why he wants to see the armies with whom he is fighting. Okay. So that insight is given by the acharyas. So Krishna smiles, knowing the mind of Arjuna and also foreseeing that now he is going to get bewildered. Okay, after seeing them. So because being the Yogeshwar Krishna, he actually understands that that is the seed for his bewilderment. So Krishna also, there is one verse in the same episode also. There it is explained that verse number 11, it is said that uh, Mahavishnu, Prakriti, all the elements in the universe, nobody is actually in control. Actually, Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the supreme controller. So that is the verse which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur uh, translates it like that. Not even Mahavishnu is in complete control of the universe. That's what he says. Okay, so Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur translates it like that. And so Mahavishnu's position is also inferior to that of Lord Krishna. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in that purport. So Prabhupada translates it in a straightforward way. He says that Mahavishnu is the creator of all the elements and there are 24 elements. And actually he is the overseer of everything. Without his permission, nothing can happen. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur translates it as not even Mahavishnu or the elements which are created can actually completely control the destiny as Krishna can. So that's how he translates it. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur translates it. So just to distinguish the position of Mahavishnu and Krishna, so we will also speak of a story in Bhagavatam itself. So Bhagavatam, the 10th canto, the 89th chapter. So there is a story how Krishna brings the sons of Brahmanas from the abode of Mahavishnu. So it is said that in Dwarka, there is a Brahmana who is very much aggrieved because every time he gets a son, the son dies as soon as it is born. So first time it happens, so the Brahmana brings the son and keeps it at the doorsteps of Ugrasen Maharaj. And he starts lamenting and crying. So he starts chastising Ugrasen. He says, what kind of corrupt rulers we have? So those who are attached to sense gratification, and they are the duplicitous enemies of Brahmanas. So that's what he calls Ugrasen Maharaj. And he says, because he has done something wrong in his duties as a Kshatriya, that's why we Brahmanas have to suffer. We have to see our sons dying in front of our eyes. How can this be possible that the children die before their father, their parents? So because the age is different, it was considered highly unlikely that a parent should remain alive before their children. So children are dying before their parents. That was considered a highly abnormal thing. So that's what the Brahmana speaks to Ugrasen, and he keeps on chastising him many times. So this happens. So this happens every time the son is born, the Brahmana son dies, and he comes, and again he actually chastises the Ugrasen and all the courtiers in the same way. So 9 times it happens, and every time he comes and he speaks the same way. But the 9th time, Arjuna is standing there with Krishna in the court of Ugrasen Maharaj, and he hears. Then Arjuna becomes angry and he says, how is this that there are so many courtiers here, there are so many Kshatriyas, Yadus are here, and nobody is actually doing anything. Their Brahmana is asking for protection and nobody of you is actually brave enough to actually give protection to this Brahmana. So he says that I will do the needful. So the Brahmana laughs and he says, what are you speaking foolishly? So he says, here there is Krishna himself standing. There are his sons, Pradyumna is there, Aniruddha is there, Sankarshan is there. So many great warriors are standing here. They could not save my sons. Who are you who is speaking so boldly? You seem to be somebody who is a neophyte person. So Arjuna says, he is Krishna, no doubt, but I am also Arjuna. So I am the wielder of the bow Gandiva, and I have actually even uh, pleased Shiva with my prowess. So do not underestimate me. So he says, the next time your wife is about to give birth, just call me and I will stand there guard so that not even Yamraj can take your son from you. So that is his bold statement. And he says, if it does not happen so, I will myself enter into the fire and give up my life. Okay, if I cannot save your child. So the Brahmana becomes pacified for the time being and he goes away. And the wife again, actually she becomes pregnant and she about to give birth to a child. So the Brahmana calls for Arjuna. So Arjuna stands guard to the cottage where the Brahmana's wife is giving birth. He makes a complete shelter. He makes like a cage which is completely encompassing the cottage of the Brahmana, so that not any subtle beings can also not enter there to take away the uh, child of Brahmana. But then the child is born, it cries for a few seconds, and the child this time vanishes along with the body. So last time actually the body was there to show to the king that my child has died. But this time even the body disappears. So now the Brahmana becomes very much angry. So he says, look at this person. He was speaking so boldly. He is like a eunuch. He is not having any power and just keeps on bragging anything and anything. So Krishna could not save. Who is this person who could have saved? So he chastises Arjuna like anything. So then so Arjuna actually becomes very agitated. So Arjuna goes to the abode of Yama by his mystic power. He tries to search there. So there he does not find the son of Brahmana. Then he goes to Agni's abode, Soma's abode. He goes to Varuna's abode. He goes everywhere in the universe, right from the, it is said, right from the lower planets to the top of the Brahmaloka. He goes everywhere. But he could not find the son of Brahmanas. Then he is about to give his life. So then Krishna comes and says, wait, I will show you where the sons of Brahmana are. You just come with me. Okay. So then they board the chariot of Krishna and both of them start traveling across the universe. So the chariot has 4 horses. So it is a Shaibya, Megha Pushpa, Balahaka, and Sugriva. So 4 horses are there. So they are traveling on the chariot. And then it is said that they cross over the Bhumandala. They cross over the 7 islands of Bhumandala. They cross over the 7 oceans. They cross over the Loka Loka Parvat also. And then they enter into the darkness before crossing the universal shell. So the darkness, as soon as they enter, the 4 horses become bewildered. They could not see anything. They could not sense anything, where to go. So all directions become one for them. So then Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra comes and he starts cutting through the darkness. So it is said that it is bright like thousands of suns. And then it cuts through the darkness and it makes way for them to travel. So it cuts through all the 7 layers of the universe, and the chariot crosses through the universe and goes through the Virja. So Brahmajyoti is crossed and it goes into the Virja. Then in Virja, they see that there is a great palace which is bedecked with thousands of pillars with jewels. So very beautiful and magnificent palace. And Arjuna is astonished seeing that. In that there is a great serpent who is completely white like a pearl, and he has a blue neck. And on the bed of that Shesha, Mahavishnu is lying down. So Mahavishnu is completely bluish in color with lotus eyes, and he has a Kaustuv jewel, Srivatsa mark, and he is wearing a pitambar, and he has 8 arms. So this particular Mahavishnu just he sees Krishna and Arjuna coming, and he becomes very happy. So he says in the grave voice, yes, I have been waiting for you so that you see me. So basically he is waiting so that he could see Krishna, but he speaks in a very mysterious way. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that here the Mahavishnu smiles, Prahasan, Smita. He does a smile there, and he wants to say that, see, Krishna, how I am speaking in a very mystical way, so that Arjuna is also not bewildered, thinking that who is this Krishna? So he is in Sakhya Bhav with Krishna, so he should not become agitated by his speech. At the same time, I am respecting you also. So I am not saying that I am greater than you. So That way, the Mahavishnu is speaking in a very different way. So he says that I have been waiting for you people so that you could finish your pastimes as early as
Smitahasya, Mruduhasya, Atahasya. So here you explain this Prahasanniva means what is the region actually means that is the smiling.
Yeah.
And the Vipar slok also has said that Tamuvacha Hrusikesa Prahasanniva Bharata Senairubhera Madhye Rathang Stapayamevchata Ebang Ukta Hrusikesa Gudhakesana Bharata. I think the Krishna, he did not expect that Arjuna will fight. No, Arjuna will not fight. Because before he said that I will fight. Koi maya sah juddhyabhya. But now he's saying that I will not fight. So that is changing his mood and changing his spirit so that Krishna is smiling. I think his mood is changed. Like,
Thank you.
Oh, Prahasan, literal meaning, is it a sarcastic smile or?
Not always sarcastic, he is amused. So Krishna's amusement sometimes comes as a smile. Krishna sarcastically laughing, I do not have a reference to that. Usually Krishna does not sarcastically laugh. His smile is actually very uplifting. He does not smile in sarcasm. Uh, 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 yes, yes, yes. So Krishna actually means whatever he does, uh, it actually endears a devotee to him. So devotees are very happy seeing him smiling, and he has a different meaning when he smiles every time. But most of the pastimes, he smiles when he is amused. Or sometimes, for example, if Arjuna is when he is bragging that he is Krishna, he may be Aniruddha, he is Pradyumna, but I am Arjuna, the wielder of Gandhi bow. So Krishna may be smiling at that time also, but that smile is not necessarily sarcastic. He's just amused by seeing the his associates getting into the flow of Kshatriya spirit. So yes, so that is the nature of Krishna. He sometimes smiles in a different way.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, I was just reading regarding this demons entering into the spiritual world. So, I was reading this Brihad Bhagavatam. So, that Sanatana Goswami writes that there are two words, like a manifested word and unmanifested word. So, in manifested word, when Krishna does Leela in this world, here demon can enter.
Yes.
But in the unmanifested world, in really Goloka, only devotees becomes demons just to play the pastime, just like
Yes.
from the spiritual world Vaikuntha to kya naam ka?
Jai Vijay.
Jai Vijay came. So devotees become the demon and they do the pastimes in the spiritual world. They cannot enter the spiritual world.
Yes.
Something like this.
Yes, yes. Yes, it is there. So it is said that true demons usually cannot enter the spiritual world. But if you see the way Jai Vijay are actually, though they are actually spiritual people, they are the worst of the demons. When they take the role of demon, it is actually the demons of the material world are actually far more better and sober than the Ravana and Hiranyakashipu. So when they play the role is so serious and so dangerous that actually one does not even forgets that they are actually spiritual people. So they are so villainous. So the perfection of the pastimes of Lord are that when their devotees take a particular role, they are completely immersed into that role, and so much so that Lord actually becomes angry on them, fighting with them. Okay, so that is like a thankless task they are taking up. That actually Lord is becoming angry with them when they are fighting. But that is also a role of Yogmaya. So Yogmaya covers them in such a way that actually they have to forget when fighting with Lord. So the Yogmaya actually manifests them. So the spiritual demons are no less than actually material demons. Actually, they are also very fierce. And so just like we can see the manifestations of the spiritual people, Hiranyakashipu, Ravan, they are not ordinary demons. Yes.
Thank you, Hari
Thank
Bol.
you. Thank you, Hari. Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.